Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday and happy Thursday to those who live in the States. I currently live in Okinawa, Japan. This is my first personalized YouTube video that's not like goofy. Oh, hi, baby. Yeah, my son's back there knocked out. Yeah, we just got home. But I wanted to come on and introduce myself because you guys don't know me. So my YouTube channel is That Crazy Ross Family. It's just not me. It's me, my husband, and our 3 kids. But today I'm going to come on and I'm going to talk about something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. Have you guessed it, Jet? Yes, depression. No one likes to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room. It's the thing that most people sweep under the rug and pretend like it's not there. Put a Band-Aid on it when really you need to do more than just do that. So I'm going to talk about my experience. So I just turned 27. I have 3 kids. My other 2 are at school right now. And I have dealt with depression, postpartum depression 3 times so far. That's a lot. Yes, 3 times I've dealt with postpartum depression. But before postpartum depression, my grandmother who raised me, she passed away when I was 16, and I went through a bit of depression then, but it's just sometimes for some families it's just not something that a lot of people like to talk about. It's something that people just kind of just push to the side and try to get your mind off of it, but it's, it doesn't get discussed like it should be anyways. So with me, so it's been 11 years since my grandmother passed away, and it's been really tough. Okay, I'm not even going to lie to you. My depression has been literally like a roller coaster, twists, turns, ups, downs. There's been times where I've just cried in the shower and I didn't know why I was crying. There was times where I couldn't get out of bed. There was times where I was angry, because depression doesn't always come as sad. I was just angry, so irritable. And when I moved to Okinawa, Japan, I kept meeting people and they kept saying how they dealt with postpartum depression and how they talked to someone about it. I've never personally talked to a therapist about postpartum depression, or anybody really for that matter, but I said, okay, I'll talk to someone about it. Cool. Other people are doing it. Why not? What can it hurt? So I ended up talking to someone, and we came to the conclusion that I have been dealing with depression for about 10 years now. So not just postpartum depression, but regular depression too. So if you have dealt with postpartum depression, but you have anxiety or regular depression, your postpartum can be worse than other people. It can hit you harder than the average person, if you didn't know. That's just a little fun fact. But so we came to the conclusion that, I've been dealing with depression for a long time, and I never wanted to be medicated. I never really wanted to be on antidepressants, but I was at such a low point in my life where I was like, I need something quick to basically help me feel better, because not only am I depressed, but I'm suicidal, and that's not okay. No, baby, you can't have those cinnamon buns. Sorry, guys. I just literally went and got some cinnamon rolls, and he's trying to dig his hands in it. Say hi. So yes, I was suicidal. I was in a very bad place last year, and I decided to get onto antidepressants. I was on antidepressants. Excuse you. I was on antidepressants for about maybe a month and a half, and I did not like them at all. It helped with my moods. I wasn't crying all the time. I didn't have any thoughts of harming myself, but I literally felt like a zombie. I wasn't happy, I was sad. I was literally moving through my day to day, and I was just meh. That's that's how I was, and I didn't like that feeling. And when my kids started to notice, mommy's not really happy, but she's not sad either, but what's wrong, mommy? Then I was like, okay. I went to therapy, and she would ask me how was I feeling, and I said, well, I honestly don't feel anything. And so we decided to get off antidepressants. So I'm off antidepressants, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? What's gonna help me? Because I really don't want to be sad or angry or anything like that. So I'm also on a fitness journey. So I was working out a lot, getting more sunlight, trying to get out the house. It's so hot and humid in Okinawa, so there's days where I don't want to step out the house because I like the AC. I don't like to be hot. I don't. I love being on an island, but the heat is sometimes unbearable, and I hate it. But that was something that I was doing, and for a little while that worked. And then after a time, my depression started to basically creep in. It's basically like the little monster in your closet, like, hello, I'm still here. And so I didn't go through as hard of a time, but I still was going through stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm sad, and I'm in school full time, and I can't focus on schoolwork, and now it's becoming a problem. So I went back to the doctor, and I got on antidepressants again. But before I got on antidepressants, my doctor was like, okay, well, we have a new therapist here, and she's really good at talk therapy. So before I prescribe you anything, I want you to go and talk to her. But I didn't really feel like she was the therapist for me personally, and I personally didn't like her that much. So I literally just told her, like, no offense, I'm just going to go back downstairs, and I'm going to get on my antidepressants. And she was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. So I got on this new antidepressants, not the same ones from last year, because those ones made me feel like a zombie. I was on Zoloft, and I've never had to deal with antidepressants, so I didn't really know the different kinds and what it did to you. So I got on this new antidepressant. That's my Japanese car. And can you stop turning off the ignition, please? Let's not do that. I got on this new drug, and I wasn't sad anymore. Like, I wasn't crying or anything like that. I was a little happier. My mood was a little better. But one thing that I did notice was my sex drive was really, really low. Like, really low. Okay? So I went back to the doctor, and I was like, listen, I don't know what you gave me, but it's killing my sex drive, dude. So he put me on another medication that's supposed to basically not have the sexual side effects to be like a big thing. So I was like, okay, I mean, I'll try it. What can it do? Like, what's the worst it can do? Not work, and I'll stop taking it. So that's what happened, basically. It wasn't really working, so I stopped taking it. So I was like, okay, I'll just try to, do other things, try to, like, spice it up, get my sex drive back, because my husband's like, what the hell is wrong? What's going on? And I don't know what's going on either, because I'm like, I'm 27. I ain't no way that this is happening to me so fast. So I talked to my doctor again. Like, a couple months went by. I talked to my doctor again and was like, okay, look, remember when we had a conversation and you basically said that you would give me a little pill to kind of get me going? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I need that pill, because my sex drive is not only low, but at this point it's non-existent, and that's a problem. And not just like a problem for my husband, but that's just a problem, because I feel like everybody wants to be intimate with their spouse. They want that closeness, and I didn't want that at all. And I was like, okay, this is a problem. So I got this pill. He prescribed it to me, I was excited when he prescribed it, but I was scared to take it. I was like, okay, yeah, like, what if this makes it worse? Like, what if it makes my side effects worse? And I just didn't want to take it. So I eventually took it, and then it didn't do anything for me, like every other drug. Some weeks went by, I took it again, it worked. But at this point, I've been off my antidepressants for like a month now, and I've been trying to do other things to try to not be so dependent on medication. Because anyone who knows me, I barely take Tylenol for a headache. I'm not really about medication. Medication is not my first thing that I run to when things are wrong. I try to self-medicate, do other things to make me feel better. So I say all this to say, because I know I'm rambling at this point, but I say all this to say, like, depression comes in many forms. I don't recommend medication for everyone, but that's something that you and your doctor have to discuss and make sure they tell you all the side effects. Don't just be so quick to say, okay, I'll take this pill, because if you take it for so long, depending on what the dose is, your body is not going to know how to function without those pills. And for me, I was literally trying to take it every other day, once a week, like not trying to get my brain like, okay, if I don't get it, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. I won't know what to do. Like, I didn't want that. So now I'm not on any medications anymore, and I'm just on like a spiritual journey, trying to like find myself, blah blah blah, woo-sa, meditation, yoga, all that, crystals. I'm actually wearing a moldavite crystal. Some people don't recommend moldavite because this is a crystal that definitely brings out your emotions, and a lot of people don't recommend moldavite. But when I got moldavite, there were some people that walked out of my life, and I was perfectly okay with it. But I've had it for like, I think 3 weeks, a month, and I feel fantastic. Okay, I'm happy. I have not thought about taking an antidepressants in forever. I wake up and I feel good, and I'm working on my self-confidence. I'm just on another journey. So that's kind of where I am with my depression right now. But if anyone wants me to make more videos on my depression or has questions, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, because my whole channel won't be about depression or anything like that. It's gonna be pranks. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun channel, guys. Like, just tune in, engage with us. And yes, happy Friday, and I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Goodbye. Say bye. Say bye. Say mwah. Mwah.